Our vision for Chelsea Creek was to connect the site to water by expanding the dock and providing canals to create a vibrant new waterside destination. Looking to Amsterdam and Copenhagen, we have brought a characteristically European feel of waterside living to London. Historically, the northern corner of the site used to include a small pond. This has been extended into a larger basin and marina with 2 canals running from it. The construction of the canals and marina within the new development was split into 3 distinct phases. These new features were constructed as a continuous concrete structure. In order to not place pressure on the local network, the canal has also been designed and constructed to act as an actuation tank with holding storm water. In addition to this, the feature also serves as a place for nature and community to thrive.
Plasdwr's Gateway Linear Park is an active travel, landscaping and sustainable drainage focused highway link into Wales's largest residential development. The wider Plasdwr site will provide 7,000 homes, 5 schools, amenities and 400 acres of green spaces over the next few decades. The Gateway Linear Park is a landmark entrance into that development, designed to capture the ethos and design principles of this 21st century garden city. Working collaboratively from the outset, the project aimed to combine safe active travel with the desire to create a destination and the need to sustainably manage surface water runoff. These principles were at the forefront of the design, a stark contrast to the traditional car-centric, narrow footpath, hard-engineered highways of the past. The design was also carefully coordinated with existing strategic utilities, including high-voltage cabling, a trunk potable water main, and a high-pressure gas main. Surface water runoff is collected in swales with check dams to slow the water down, allowing sediment to settle, and carefully selected planting to strip hydrocarbons and metals from the polluted runoff. Runoff is then attenuated in landscape ponds, reducing flood risk within the development and in the downstream drainage network. The SuDS components are closely integrated with footpaths, circle routes and play equipment, as well as providing a natural separation from car traffic, improving safety and experience. The project introduced 140 trees, 2,400 metres squared of permanent water, varied aquatic and non-aquatic planting, and large amounts of wildflower meadow planting. Biodiversity benefits can be seen firsthand with the new species already present on site, including nesting birds and invertebrates. 70% of Gateway Linear Park is blue and green landscaping, a completely different approach to traditional highway design. The project aimed to provide a legacy for future generations, providing a more sustainable, healthier and community-focused place to live. Ongoing inspections, maintenance and design input ensure that the project will continue to provide the benefits to the local community as intended.
Wellbank Park is a vibrant new community on the edge of the Lake District, planned with people, landscape and the environment at its heart. Initially, the drainage was conventional, with surface water dispatched into deep drains under the roads. These were linked to buried cellular attenuation tanks, and these would result in equally deep ponds at the bottom of the site. But the client, David Nuttall, had a vision for a more sustainable approach and brought 2B Landscape Consultancy and consulting engineers PSA Design onto the team. The basic master plan layout had already been conceived by the architect. The strong emphasis on landscape corridors and spaces designed to provide walking routes around the site gave us a framework into which we could overlay a more sustainable approach to surface water management. The swales add interest and purpose to the landscape routes through the site and use the natural terrain to deliver the water at a controlled rate into 2 large ponds. The house plots are drained to permeable sub-base drives to detain the roof water. The access roads are a conventional non-permeable design, but surface water is kept as high as possible and crosses the roads using shallow drainage units which feed into the downstream swales. The swales also take the crossfall from the access roads. The ponds provide a fabulous setting for the community hub. They're designed with a wet bench for normal levels and a dry bench for the peak water level, which is 300 mil higher. These benches provide flat areas which enhance both safety and biodiversity. The project is under construction now, with the layout of the ponds and landscape corridor visible and the first of the swales being formed. We look forward to seeing the site develop and to its vision being achieved.
My name is Christina Refalo and I'm a Landscape Architect Director of Refalo Landscape Architects. The Stag Little Easton is a residential scheme in Essex by developer Monterre, consisting of 42 homes and 3 commercial units over 3.7 hectares of land. Right from the start, the client engaged a multidisciplinary team including Torner Architects, Magenta Planning, Stantec as drainage engineers, Hybrid Ecology, Waterman as highway engineers, Sharon Hosegood Associates as arboriculturalist, and ourselves as landscape architects. Utilising a multidisciplinary approach guarantees that the design harmoniously blends in with its surroundings. By applying that wider landscape approach, the initial assessment of the scheme consists of a desktop GIS analysis where key aspects of the site within and beyond the red boundary were captured and overlaid. This provided the initial design input for the scheme. Wider land contours assessment and long site sections provided key information in relation to the surrounding hydrology and the River Chelmer and other relevant water features. The design within the site boundary then evolved, taking into consideration the land aspects as well as the complex architectural requirements for the homes. Through various interdisciplinary design iterations, the green and blue infrastructure was seamlessly integrated with the social infrastructure and architectural ethos for the scheme, creating a place for people and wildlife to call home. The design was nature-based SuDS led from the early conceptual stage, allowing for the creation of various SuDS components arranged in a conveyancing management train. By considering the broader context beyond the red line, including hydrological factors, human and wildlife movements, as well as nearby townscape architectural styles, the design approach successfully reconnected the site with its surrounding landscape. This addressed the 4 pillars of SuDS by reducing runoff rates, improving water quality, creating amenity and biodiversity.
Lisvane and Llanishen Reservoirs is a new water sports and visitor centre owned and operated by Welsh Water. It serves as a hub for health and well-being in North Cardiff for both visitors and the local community. The centre includes a cafe, water sports facilities and meeting rooms, while the external landscape provides amenity spaces, educational areas and parking. The project restored a previously brownfield area of operational land associated with the historic use of the reservoirs. It forms part of the wider restoration project undertaken by Welsh Water since they acquired the reservoirs in 2016. The SuDS scheme had to be carefully integrated around extensive infrastructure, including the reservoir dams, various listed structures and live operational elements. The site also encompasses 2 SSSI designations and various SINC designations. The design team included Momentum Civil and Structural Engineers, Landscape Architects LT Studio, Architects Field and Clegg Bradley Studios, and Services Consultants E3, working closely with the client Welsh Water. We aimed to develop a SuDS scheme that was highly expressive, educational and carefully embedded into the wider landscape. The scheme also helps to reconnect the richly biodiverse reservoirs with the adjacent watercourse and surrounding woodlands. Rainwater from the roofs discharges to expressed gargoyles at various points around the building. These in turn discharge to rain chains which connect rain gardens, swales and rills around the perimeter, with bioretention prior to discharge to the wider site network. The site is within a flood risk area and so the car park required careful detailing to provide suitable treatment and storage. There are various surface treatments within the car park which drains to tree pits and rain gardens. Infiltration was not possible, and the final discharge is therefore at a controlled rate to the watercourse which runs through the site. The project is extremely popular and has become a blueprint for how Welsh Water can educate and engage with both visitors and the local community and enhance biodiversity on their sites.
Hi, I'm Helen Smith and I'm a Technical Director in Landscape Architecture at JBA, and I was lucky enough to be the lead on the design for the Gateshead Baltic Quarter blue-green corridor, which you can see standing within now. JBA worked in partnership with Gateshead Council to design a climate-resilient blue-green corridor to take surface water and provide future surface water attenuation.
The project was about creating a multifunctional green corridor of soft drainage features with sustainable urban drainage capacity that also provided pedestrian and cyclist links through the site, recreational space within a linear park area, and biodiversity net gains. Gateshead's aim was to have an exemplar SuDS scheme within the borough that could be used as an example for future SuDS elsewhere.
Where we're standing now is a former industrial area. There was a road here, but the rest of this area was quite heavily contaminated and the land has been reclaimed for development.
A fundamental objective was to transport surface water to the River Tyne. Our engineers used 3D surveys to navigate to the river, repurposing an existing outfall, providing time and cost efficiencies. We worked with Gateshead Council to maximise the sustainable drainage potential, creating attenuation areas, rain gardens, swales and check weirs to reduce flow rates during peak events. By modelling the green-blue network, we could predict and design for future capacity needs. The planting design includes street trees, shrub and herbaceous planting, and provides benefits in terms of air quality, reduction of the urban heat island effect, and provision of wildlife habitat. The site is both a gathering space and a transport link, and the intersecting landscape elements reflect the cultural and industrial heritage of the site, including historic rope making that is part of its history.